So far in my time with this channel, I've done 2 videos on gaming mouse. The $500 Final Mouse Starlight Achilles, which is one of the world's first metal gaming mouse and also the lightest on the market. I've also reviewed the DeathAdder V3 Pro, which is an update to one of the most popular gaming mice ever made. Well, I've been waiting on this mouse to arrive for almost 7 months now, and I am super excited to finally talk about it. Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Grason, this is Tech With Me, and today we're going to be talking about the Model D Pro. Now, this isn't your normal average Model D Pro, like the one that came out almost a year ago. This is the Skyline edition, and it's a special edition that comes in this blue and bubblegum pink color. So what makes this mouse so special that it took me almost 7 months to get? Well, that's actually a great question. For this particular model in this particular color path, Glorious did what's called a group buy. My understanding of how a group buy works is essentially they put it up for sale, and if 1,000 people order it, then they only manufacture 1,000 units, which makes it kind of a limited quantity release. And in my particular case, the shipping from this mouse to my home took a really long time. It kept getting pushed back and delayed. I don't know if that had to do with the manufacturing process or just issues with shipping in general. I don't know. They never really said. They just said, hold on a little longer. And I did, and I waited patiently, and I'm glad it is finally here. Now, to be fair, because it is kind of a limited quantity release, and because I waited so long to get it, I wish they did kind of similar to like my Final Mouse Starlight Achilles, where they told me what number out of however many they made I have. I'm curious how limited it is and how close to number 1 my mouse is. For example, with my Final Mouse Starlight Achilles, I think it's like number 205 out of only 2,500, which is astronomical to think of, and I'm just curious where I lay with this particular mouse. So I'm sure you guys might be asking, why Glorious and why the Model D Pro? What makes it so special, and why did I wait so long to get it? I mean, to be fair, just look at it. There's not another mouse that looks like this or is colored like this on the market, and that was the main thing that caught my attention, but there's more. If you haven't heard of Glorious, they're really well known in the keyboard building enthusiast side of things. They make a lot of really cool, like custom built hot swappable keyboards. They're even making mouse pads now and more mice, and they're pretty good. Essentially, Glorious is a brand that was made for enthusiasts by enthusiasts. And personally, another thing that drew my interest is that I use a Glorious G MMK Pro keyboard every single day. It's a fully custom gaming keyboard that my little brother built for me, and I love it. He built it with pink and magenta keycaps because that's like my favorite color, and I think this mouse matches it and goes really well with it, which is awesome. And that's what I love about this particular mouse is the colorway that they've chosen. The color path is probably some of the coolest and most unique coloring I've ever seen on a mouse before. And it matches everything with my setup, and I love that. But enough about aesthetics. How does it feel and how does it perform? That's a really important question, so let's talk about it. Build quality wise, it's honestly not the most expensive feeling mouse I've ever felt. And material like the plastic that they use does feel like a slight step down from my DeathAdder V3 Pro that I was daily driving previously. With that being said, it does still feel like a good quality. It doesn't feel like the $10 gaming mouse that we reviewed on that like $10 setup video I did, but it doesn't feel quite S tier, if that makes sense. It just, the only way I can really think to describe it is that it feels more plasticky. But with that being said, the clicks feel good and are tactile. The scroll wheel has no visible or fillable wobble, and it does feel good to use. And it's super light. As a matter of fact, I plopped it down on my scale and kind of compared it to the V3 Pro, and it's actually 3 grams lighter. My DeathAdder V3 Pro comes in at 63 grams. This guy hits right at 60. And I know that doesn't feel like a lot, but it does make a difference. When I hold one in my hand versus the other, I can feel that, and maybe it could help you when you're gaming. Now, I know I keep comparing this to the Death Adder V3 Pro, and I apologize, but I feel like it's probably one of the most comparable mice on the market right now. There's also I think the Logitech GX Pro Superlight is also pretty comparable to this mouse, but I don't have that mouse anymore. I don't actually remember what happened to it. I had it for a little bit. I didn't like it though, so I guess I lost it. But of course, both of these mice are ultralight ergonomic gaming mice. And when you put them next together, they actually look and are shaped fairly similar with a few small differences. And the most noticeable difference honestly is at the very front of the mouse. While the Death Adder V3 Pro is more sharp and jagged on the corners, the glorious Model D is a little bit more rounded. And if you saw my review on the Death Adder V3 Pro, one of the big things that I didn't like about the mouse, or I say big, it was kind of small, but it was one of my few complaints, is that the DPI button was located on the bottom of the mouse, where you had to lift the mouse up just to change your DPI settings if you were doing it from the mouse. And that's not a complaint I have to say that I have about the Model D Pro. They put the DPI button right there on the top of the mouse. Who would have thought it could be that simple? And now if I do need to change my DPI during the middle of a game, I don't have to lift it up and touch the bottom. I just click the top. Easy. And of course, on the side, it's got two programmable buttons to do whatever you want them to do, just like most gaming mice at the very least have. And they have a fairly discernible and tactile click. I don't think you'll accidentally click these like you can on some mice. And when it comes to performance, well, I clicked some heads in CSGO for a few hours to test this mouse, and I only got 2 kills, so I think that might be the mouse's fault. 0 out of 10, I don't think I would recommend this one. It doesn't magically turn you into a god tier player. And well, I'm just kidding, actually. Not about only getting 2 kills, that happened, but I'm a terrible gamer, so that's not the mouse's fault. The mouse felt really good to use. I didn't notice any latency. I didn't notice any misclicks, anything that would like bother me while gaming. It was comfortable for the 3 or 4 hours that I played strictly for testing, and everything else that I've played over the last month of having this mouse so far has felt great. I have very little to complain about. In the end, I really love this mouse. I'm going to keep using it as my daily driver until something new comes across my eyesight that I can't not impulse buy, because that's just who I am. But, you know, with that being said, my name was Grayson. This is Tech With Me. I really like this mouse. If you like it, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Leave a like and maybe even subscribe. Thank you guys very kindly for watching.